Hey, what's up? David here with After Video Effects, and welcome to the final tutorial for 2021. Today, we're going to be creating this frozen shield effect inside of After Effects, and to make it a bit more interesting, I decided to add Captain America's shield overlaid with the ice. So, before we begin, I just want to say that all the techniques that I have learned and the textures that I retrieved is from Andrew Kramer's ice tutorial or translucent glass tutorial that he made years ago. I'll leave a link in the description below, and I just want to acknowledge that it's completely from him. But without further ado, let's take a look at what we're going to be creating. Okay, so let's get into it. So we're going to make a new comp. We'll call this frozen shield. And the first thing I'm going to do is just add in the diffuse texture, and we just want to make sure it's filled up with the comp here, so we can add the motion tile, and we're just going to stretch that out like that. And we're going to add the invert effect, so just select your layer, invert, and I just want to invert the luminance for this, so we get a bit more of that ice texture. Okay, I'm going to add the tint effect. Just want to desaturate it a bit, maybe about 25, and just add the curves adjustment to this, so just give it a bit of nice contrast look. Okay, so that is it. We're going to set this as a 3D layer, and we're going to set the transfer mode to overlay. So next thing we're going to do is go ahead and just add in our normal map, and we're just going to do the same thing for the eyes. So we can just copy our motion tile effect and paste it to our normal layer, and I just want to scale this up a little bit like that. Okay, and let's go ahead and just pre-compose this normal map. So we're going to hit Control-Shift-C and call this ice normal, and we'll move all the attributes and we'll hit OK. So that's all done. Now let's just go ahead and just add in our shield. So I've got Captain America's shield here. Just drag it in here, and we'll make this a 3D layer as well. I'm just going to push it back in Z space so that it is behind the ice texture, and we're just going to scale it down to maybe like 70, like that. And what I can do is first add a fax box blur, repeat edge pixels, and just blur it out a little bit. And then we'll add the displacement map, and then we'll select our normal, and we can actually start displacing this as well. Now this is happening, and the reason why this is happening is because we got to hit this collapse transformation tool on our normal layer. So we hit that. Now it's covering the whole thing. Okay, so we can just go ahead and displace this a little bit. Quite a fair bit actually. So it looks like it is got these fake bumps happening here. And what I can do is just duplicate it, scale it up a little bit, maybe 1%, push it back in Z space. I just set this down to 3rd res. Like that, and just add the tint effect and just make it a little bit more gray like that, so we have a little bit of a shadow here, and then just duplicate it one more time and just make it like 72%. and just make it all black. Almost black. And we'll just set that as 50%. Like that. Okay. Now that's done, we can go ahead and just pre-compose these. So Control-Shift-C. And call it shield. Hit OK. Alright, so now that's done, we can move on to the next step, which is just to try and make this look as though it is like covered up. Click that transformation tool as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and just make black solid. I'll call this background. Okay, put it underneath the diffuse texture, and we can make a new solid. And we'll make it more like a bluish, light blue color, like this, like that. And what I'm going to do is just draw like a small ellipse tool here, and hit F, feather it out, and make this a 3D layer. So you can see what we're trying to achieve here. We're just making like these little hot spots here. So what I can do is just move this back into Z space, maybe behind the shield here, and just enlarge it. And we can just like adjust like the mask here. So we can like just maybe bring the opacity down a little bit. Okay, and then just, you know, just start playing with this. Maybe like duplicate it, move it across here, and then just play with the mask shape here. Just hit F, feather it out even more. It's up to you how you want to get creative with this, so I'm just going to do this quickly. Okay, so I kind of changed it to a bit more greenish color, and I just moved it around a little bit. Okay, so now that we've got all these layers completed, let's go ahead and just like give this a little bit of a color correction because it kind of looks ugly right now. So we're going to add 2 adjustment layers. We'll call this one CC, and call this one Vignette. Okay, and actually let's also add the camera as well because we need the camera. So it looks like we're getting a little bit of parallax motion here. Okay, CC layer selected. Let's go ahead and just add curves adjustment. Just give us a little bit of a dark look or contrast look as well. And we'll just go ahead and just take away some red and maybe add in a bit of blue to this. So it looks like that. Add the tint effect. Just drop this down to maybe like 20%. And we're going to add the displacement effect and do an overall displacement to this. So select the normal and just displace this. So it looks like it's like this ice diffuse. And we'll just wrap the pixels around. We don't want to do too much because it's going to cut this edge. So you just got to be careful about that. So just maybe about 10 is pretty good. Like that. And we'll fix these edges up later. Okay, maybe 8 by 8 is pretty good. Okay. Let's hope we can just add a little bit of a fast box blur as well to this. It's maybe like 3 pixels. Maybe like 1. Just put this above. Like that. Okay. So it's not looking too bad, and we'll just add an overall vignette to this. So just darken that. set to subtract and hit F, feather that out. Quite a large amount. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now it's looking a little flat, so what we do is just duplicate this, and I'm just going to solve this for now. And what I want to do is just add a levels effect, and what I can do is just crush some of all that black, and just maybe get a little bit of the white. And I can set this to screen, and what it does, just creates like this highlight for the diffuse texture. Okay, and we'll just put this in between the tint and the invert. Set the tint back up to 100. I'm just going to give this a large contrast look. So just bring that down. Just bring that up as well. Might just see how it goes with the luminance. So something like that, you can just kind of see the highlight that I'm creating here. So like that, it's pretty good. Okay. And I might just turn off the fast box blur. Just decrease this opacity to maybe like 30%. And maybe I can just give this a little bit more diverse look, just scaling it up like that. Okay. Alright, so one last final thing we can do is just add a bit of like a camera blur to this, or depth of field, sorry. So what I can do is just create a new black solid and just go in and add the gradient ramp effect, and set this to radial ramp, and we'll just swap colors, just like bring this along here, like that. So we have like this black to white effect happening here, and just add a little bit of contrast look to this. Like that. And just pre-compose this. Call this depth of field. DLF for short. Shut that off. Okay, and then we'll add the camera lens blur. And then we're going to select our depth of field. And if we just move this up to like 30, you can see that if we just gain the focus distance, we can see that our blur is only happening here and here. It may be hard for the camera to pick up, but you can definitely see it, and the focus is just in this area here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I might also just do some final adjustments to this. So with the diffuse here, I might add in a unsharp mask to this just to make it sharper. Did I click something? Yeah, okay, I don't know what I clicked, but on sharp mask, just to sharpen this a little bit, I want to might get these highlights going a bit. So it was this one. Let's have a look here. I just set this. Like that. I might just turn this to add. That's an interesting look. So something like that is looking pretty good. So if you can't see the difference, so this is with and without. So it's just giving this a little bit of nice pop to it. Okay, let's just go ahead and play with the camera angle now. This is the fun part. So just zoom in here. Might like just do a bit of camera angles like this. What is this blurred edge here? Is that the black background? Just scale that up. And zoom in here. Might add the Shield 3 there as well. Just rotate this a little bit. Now I might move the anchor point to the center here. So I just gonna use that as the anchor point. Like that. And the depth of field here. Blur that even more. Like that, and just make it a bit more blue. Like that. Be sure to save your project. Okay, and then let's go ahead and just play with the focal distance. So like 0 here. Scrub through and just maybe like 0.5. The depth of field will maybe 0.3. Something like that. And we just play with the camera angle as well. So hit A and Shift P. Stopwatch for both of these. Move forward. And just like play with the camera angle a little bit. Like that. And just hit F9 for that to smooth it out. Okay, let's have a look preview. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, it's looking a little too, I think that's too much, so I might just bring it back just a little bit. And just like move the camera angle a little bit. Actually, I just might delete it and then just rotate it a little bit. Like that. Okay, just do a little bit of a subtle transition. Okay. But other than that, guys, that's it for the tutorial. It's pretty straightforward tutorial. Just a lot of adjustments and just like experimentation with it. But anyway, guys, that's it for 2021. Hopefully, in 2022, I'll be able to create a bit more complex scenes. I'll be able to push my skills a little bit further. Anyway, guys, my name's David. I hope you learned interesting techniques that you can use for your own creations. Please give a like if you like this video so people can find it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and be sure to hit that bell button to get the notifications. And comment down below if you have any questions. And I will see you in the next video.